Hey everyone, in this video I will demonstrate to you how to fold this Origami Slinky. Now if you're not familiar with what a Slinky is, it's a type of toy that represents some kind of spring, and there's several ways to play with it, and I'm going to show you at the end of the video the ways that you can play with this. Now the cool thing about this Slinky, besides the fact that it's a modular model, which means you're gonna have to create several units then assemble them to create this model like this Slinky, is that it uses a minimum of 14 units, which means you can add more and more units to your liking to get the Slinky as long as you want. So in this Slinky I think I use 28 units, so that's twice as much as the minimum of units required. So let's get started. One unit of the Origami Slinky looks like this. So you would need a minimum of at least 14 of these units. 14 or more, since as I said you can construct the Slinky as long as you want. So one unit is made from a rectangular sheet of paper that's in the aspect ratio of 1 to 2. So to get that piece of paper, you have to start with a square sheet of paper, fold it in half horizontally, and then cut or tear along that horizontal line. And then you're gonna get that rectangle, two rectangles actually. And then, yeah, one of those rectangles is the paper you need for one of these units. So basically, one square sheet gives you two of these. For this model, I would recommend using memo pads. So that's a little bit thicker paper. But you can also use origami paper. But I actually use origami paper for this Slinky. But I didn't really like the result, since origami paper is thinner, so the Slinky is less stable. So in this video, I'm going to use memo pads. And so as I said, to get a rectangular sheet of paper that's in the aspect ratio of 1 to 2, start with a square sheet and then fold it in half horizontally. Unfold and then cut or tear along that horizontal line that we have just made. So then you will get two rectangular sheets. So one of these rectangular sheets will give you one unit. So I'm just going to demonstrate to you how to fold a unit. So take one of those rectangular sheets and we're going to fold it in half lengthwise, bringing the long edges together. Unfold. And then now I'm just going to bring the upper and lower edges to the center line that we have just made. Just like that. And then we're gonna bring the right edge to the left edge, but it won't be a full crease. So for now, just bring the two edges together like that. And then we're just gonna make a pinch mark on the top edge right there and on the bottom edge. Unfold once again. So now we're going to bring the left and right edges to the center, aligning it with the pinch marks. So that's just using the pinches as a reference. So bring the left edge to the center and the right edge to the center. So that's aligned with the pinch marks. Now we're going to turn over and then valley fold along the center horizontal line that we have here, along that, and then rotate 180 degrees. And the last step that we have to do now is that I'll show you here. You can see that this flap and this flap both stick out, and we're going to swing both of these flaps upwards. So I'm gonna start with the right side here. Just gonna grab the edge of that flap sticking out. Just gonna grab that edge and then just swing it upwards and then squash. Now the important thing to take note here is that this horizontal line that we have here on the flap, it should align with this edge. So you can see that the crease and that edge align. So we're just gonna do the same thing on the left side here. So once again, just grab the flap, swing it upwards, and squash, or flatten actually, when that horizontal crease aligns with this edge. Now, the other thing to take note of in making this last step is that I'll just unfold here to show you. You can see that the new diagonal creases that we have just made, which is this one and this one, it should start at where this horizontal crease intersects with the center vertical crease. So it intersects right here, and you can see that the diagonals starts at that intersection right there. So once you've made those adjustments, you have just finished one of your units for the Origami Slinky. Now you have to make 13 more of these if you're planning to make the Slinky out of the minimum number of units required, or you can even make more if you want a really long Slinky. Now let's start assembling. So if you've made any other modular models, you would know by now that the units, you have to insert a flap of one unit into the pocket of another unit. So we're gonna take two of our units, of course, and we're gonna locate the pocket of a unit on one of our units here. So just take one of your units, and then you see this flap right here that we swinged up a while ago. We're gonna open up right here. So open up that flap, and I'm actually gonna unfold the rest of the unit to show you easier. And you can see here that there are actually two edges. So you have this edge and this edge. And then we're gonna insert the flap of another unit under those two edges. So take your other unit and locate the flap. So the flap of another unit is actually simply this part right here. So this is the flap. So take the flap of another unit and then insert it into the pocket of another. So as I've said, we're just going to slide the flap for a unit under those two edges that I've shown you a while ago. It would actually help if you unfold those two edges a little bit, just like that, and slide the flap under those two edges, just like that. Now the thing you have to take note of here is that we're gonna insert the flap into the pocket until the edge right here, edge of the flap, hits where the two diagonal creases here that I've marked inside the pocket meet. So both of those diagonal creases meet right over here. They meet right over here. We're gonna push in the flap of a unit into the pocket of another until the edge of the flap hits the intersection of those two diagonals. So you can see here that I'm only pushing the flap up to the intersection of those two diagonals. So once you've got that, close the edges again like that, and just refold along the diagonal creases to get the normal units that we have started off with. If you've unfolded the unit, which I suppose you did, like I did, we're gonna refold along those two diagonals right here. Just refold along that, and then you get your two normal units, but this time it's connected to each other. Now we're not gonna connect both of these other two flaps here. We're not gonna connect both of these. You're actually gonna have to get another unit, a third one, and then do the same process on one of these flaps. So for example, you're gonna insert a flap of another unit into the pocket of this unit right here, and then you're just gonna keep doing that until you get this kind of spring structure here. And so that's why we're not gonna connect both of these unconnected flaps, so that you will get this spring structure. So now I'm gonna show you the different ways of playing with the slinky. So one way to play with the slinky is to take it, release the spring, and put both sides of the slinky on a corresponding hand, like this. So one way to play with it is to like kind of juggle it here, just like that. I don't actually know why, but I don't know. This is just one of the specialties of the slinky. So that's one of the ways to play with it. The other way of playing with the slinky is to take it, put it at the edge of the table, or actually some high ground like a table, and then you're just gonna push on one side of the slinky so that one side goes down falling from the table, and then it's actually supposed to kind of like tumble like this. But it doesn't, I don't know why, but it doesn't work with my slinky. I think it's because I use origami paper here, but I think it's gonna work if you use slightly thicker paper like memo pads. The third way to play with it is actually any other way you can think of. Use your imagination. So I hope that you've understood how to make this origami slinky. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below asking me, or you can just send me a personal message. So have fun playing with your slinky, no matter how long it is, and thanks for watching.